Oh man, Bob. That was quite the series. I don't even know what to do.
I sense a drunken rant coming on.
Well, yeah, so do I, because I think I jinxed the Giants, Bob, and Ben's going to be really upset when he hears this. I mean, Friday's win, right? I mean, we came back. We had the grand slam in the 10th. Patrick Bailey. It was amazing. And I started to think we got Webb and Ray lined up, and it's gonna be a sweep. We got a sweep coming out of the Dodger series, and I was so excited. And then stupid Giants. Logan Webb sucks. Robbie Ray Winday, that didn't happen. The bullpen has been great, and then just fell apart. He's going to be so mad. Bob, do you think this is my fault?
Yes. Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the losses hurt, but the cocktails help. Here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to episode 327 of Giant Cocktails. In a moment, I'm about to give you some inane fact about some past Giants player or team that relates to the number 327 that was found by my co-host and brother, Matthew Henry. But before I do that, I have to inform you that I am actually recording this portion of the show in the late hours of the night, after my older brother has gone to bed and claimed that he's too tired to get out of bed and record an emergency podcast to celebrate the promotion of the Eldridge Knight. That's right, folks. The Eldridge Knight has been freed. Our long, horrible national nightmare is over. He is here just in time to save the season. And I wish that we could spend the next 45 to 55 minutes talking about how awesome that is. But unfortunately, we can't, because my brother went to bed. So instead, you're going to have to listen to me moan and groan about the horrible display of baseball put on by the Giants on Saturday and Sunday against our hated rivals. Is this the reason that Buster pulled the trigger on Bryce Eldridge? Well, that and the untimely and unfortunate injury to one Dom Smith, who's been nothing short of an absolute savior to the season? Probably not. Probably not. If Logan Webb and Robbie Ray pitch anywhere near decent and the Giants win one of those two games, this doesn't happen. But it did. And we should just focus on the positive. The Knight is here to save the day. And now we return back to our original programming, and I really do apologize by my mood. But come on. It was the Dodgers. And our two best pitchers played like, well, you saw it. You know what they did. Anyway. Matthew?
Yes.
Did you know that the 2012 San Francisco Giants had a .327 on-base percentage on their way to their second World Series championship in 3 seasons?
I did know that because I was the one that typed this into the show notes. But before that, no, I had no idea. Let's talk about those 2012 Giants.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about the 2012 Giants, yeah.
Because they were great. They won a World Series championship.
Yeah, I hear they even went to the playoffs.
They did. And I don't know how they did against the Dodgers, but it didn't matter.
It didn't. No, you're right. You're right. It didn't matter because they won the ultimate prize, and it doesn't matter what happened in the rest of the season because they won the World Series, and the Dodgers did not. Totally agree. But
enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Oh, you're on my list too, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks.
Okay, everybody. Okay, like just don't even start with me. Okay? Like I don't know how you can come in here knowing how I'm going to feel and give me that kind of attitude, Bob. Like this is not, just don't. Okay? Just don't.
What are you drinking, Ben?
What I'm not drinking is declaring a sweep after one game. That's what I'm not drinking, Bob. Anyway, what am I drinking? I am drinking a cocktail that I am calling Bitter Blue Blood. Why is it called that? Oh, you know why. What's in it? Well, you're going to have to wait till the end of the episode to find out. But I can tell you what's not in it. Dodger blood. Because we didn't hurt them enough to get any. So I had to kill a Smurf.
Oh, ow.
No Smurfs were harmed in the making of this episode or this cocktail.
Thank goodness.
Anyway, that's what I'm drinking. A Bitter Blue Blood.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Well, Bob, I'm drinking a delightful fall cocktail that I found and was drinking on Friday night when the Giants were coming back. And I like, well, this is the one I'm going to do on our podcast. And so I stuck with it, even though I probably should be drinking something really, really bitter. But instead, I'm drinking a Cardamom and Banana, which is very delightful, fall-oriented cocktail. Tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
I'm supposed to say something about Cardamom and Banana, blah, 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 blah. The Giants were 10-8 against the Dodgers in 2012, Matthew. 10-8. That's a winning record. That means they pulled themselves together and defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers 10 times on their way to a wild card spot, and then eventually winning the World Series. Because that team had gumption.
Gumption.
And this team doesn't have any gumption. No gumption. That's what I'm saying. No gumption. Are you looking up the word gumption?
No, because it doesn't really matter what that word means. It's
because you know they don't have it. That's why. It doesn't matter
yes.
what it is. They don't have it. All they have is a box score ace and a guy who just steals other people's mojo and can't, like, do all of that and manage to beat the one team that he needs to beat. They get within half a game of the wild card spot, and then what do? They just barf all over themselves in front of, like, the most popular girl at school who everybody hates, but they still, like, I don't know, she still gets all the stuff. What am I supposed to do now? Anyway, today is Sunday, September 14th, as we record this podcast.
Folks, we take turns hosting. Mm-hmm. And Ben does the hosting on Sunday nights, and I do the hosting on Wednesday nights. I'm not sure if you've ever caught that pattern. So I apologize that Ben is the host tonight, but we're just going to have to ride this together.
You apologize. Oh, because you jinxed the Giants, because you predicted a sweep after Friday night. Because it's your fault. It's your fault that this happened. That's why you're apologizing?
Sure. That's why I'm apologizing.
Okay. Because I thought maybe the Giants should apologize. I thought maybe like Logan Webb could apologize. Maybe Robbie Ray could offer up an apology. You know? Yeah. When your San Francisco Giants went 1-2 this weekend to bring their record to 75-74, 1.5 games behind the Mets for the last wild card spot. And Matthew has written here in the notes it's actually 2.5 spots because they don't have the tiebreaker against the Mets, which is true. But you know what? Honestly, the Mets are not a problem. The Mets are not a problem.
You think the Mets are going to continue to Mets?
The Mets are going to continue to Met. Listen, I'm very, very upset. I'm very, very upset with the San Francisco Giants and the display they put on the last 2 days. But, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the Dodger series because that's what we do. right? This is not a show where we only focus on the positive and we try to just spin everything as being a good note, right? That's my job on the show.
I was going to say, we could be that, but you don't ever want to do that.
You could be that. You could be that. That's why you're here. But actually, you know what, though? Like, and this is what we're going to talk about in segment 2. What we're going to talk about in segment 2 today, I wrote the title for the last episode, and I said that the Giants are going to make the playoffs, and then I put in parentheses, half of us believe. Sorry, Bob, I left you out. It's because you're fictional.
I don't
get paid enough for this. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I know, but I still left you out. But here's the thing. What we're going to talk about in segment 2, even after that Dodger series, I believe. There was a key moment on Friday night that made me go over to the believing side.
Oh. What was that? Was it Patrick Bailey putting one in the seats in the bottom of the
No, because I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen.
Same. I knew that too.
Yeah, we all knew it because it was a foregone conclusion. Because it was Patrick Bailey, and it was the Dodgers and Giants, and it was a playoff push, and the bases were loaded. There was one option only. Like, I know that Patrick Bailey can't hit, but there are times when Patrick Bailey can't fail, and that was one of them. And the only outcome was a grand slam, Matthew.
Agreed.
And so I believe, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why I believe, and then we're going to talk about, well, since the Giants are going to make the playoffs, both Matthew and I agree, do they have enough gumption to win the World Series?
If you're going to keep bringing that word up, I'm going to have to look it up before we start talking.
It's kind of like mojo, but it's like grit, you know.
Shrewd or spirited initiative and resourcefulness.
That's right. Winners have gumption. Losers don't. You know what else they have? They have moxie. We're decidedly lacking on moxie in that series. But anyway, that's fine, because we're going to talk about what kind of playoff team are the Giants going to be, and why Ben has finally decided that the Giants are a playoff team, even after the Dodgers series. Even though we're, quote-unquote, 2.5 games behind the Mets. We'll talk about that. But before we do all of that, Matthew, we have to talk about our tidbits. And that's not a euphemism.
No, it's not. In anticipation of the playoffs, there's some good news. Giants, some injured Giants pitchers are starting to throw again, including Landon Roop, Eric Miller, and even Blade Tidwell are all throwing off mounds this week. It is said that Roop could be ready for the playoffs.
Really? The last I saw said he was expected to 2026. Suddenly now it's the playoffs?
Apparently not. They're throwing off mounds.
Whoa. Wow. Like, because I saw that Miller was shut down. I didn't hear anything about Tidwell, but I saw that Roop was shut down too, that the only one that was really had a chance of coming back this year was Wisenhunt. But that's great news. That changes everything, Matthew. My whole thesis for the second segment is basically the same.
No, there's no Landon Roop effect.
No, I mean, like, look, like, I think that definitely improves our chance if we make it to a game 4. But in order to get to game 4, you got to win one of the first 3 games, Matthew.
Correct.
Oh, wait, Justin Verlander's. Oh, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. The second tidbit, Matthew. Which one of us do you think should talk about this one? This one feels like a coin flip because I really want to talk about it, but like I know
I'm going to bring it up and then you can elaborate.
All right, that's fine. That's fair. It's fair.
Okay, so Sunday's game I'm watching and Conforto comes up late in the game and you distinctly hear boos in the stands. And so what I thought was funny is that throughout the whole series, right, there were a fair number of Dodger fans.
Oh, yeah,
kind of pissed
number.
me off, actually. But there were, and so anytime something that happened to the Dodgers good, there was a good amount of cheering. There was only booing when Michael Conforto came up. And so it made me think that this Michael Conforto could be the force that unites Giants fans and Dodger fans behind a shared hatred of Michael Conforto.
Yeah, I thought what was especially humorous about that booing was like, oh yeah, you're definitely getting booed by both sides. And neither of those sides are booing for how you played against them.
You're right.
They're both booing for how you've played for them. And honestly, I mean, the thing is, he actually played semi-okay for the Giants. He has been awful for the Dodgers. He has just been awful. I find it humorous because they just keep waiting for him to do something good. And yeah, he almost did something good on Friday, but of course it was wasted. And I don't think that was really his fault. He just got caught up in the whole Verlandering thing. You know, Verlandered himself on Friday night.
It's kind of hard to believe that Conforto had a 108 OPS plus for the Giants because he has a 78 OPS plus for the Dodgers.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing was he never did it during times that mattered. Right? It was never when the game was on the line. It was never helping the Giants.
He's no Patrick Bailey. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
He was the inverse. He was the inverse of Patrick Bailey. All right. Well, I guess since we've already started talking about it, we should just go ahead and get down to it. We're going to talk about the Dodgers series. And I am just sick and tired of this being the outcome series after series. But Matthew, one of the reasons that I don't actually blame you for the Dodgers series is because I had the same feeling you did after Friday night. I didn't think it was definitely going to be a sweep, but I thought, wow, the Giants are most likely going to win one of these next two games and could, in theory, win both. And honestly, if they had won the series, I would have come out here feeling pretty smug. And if they had won two close-fought, tight-knit games, I would have felt, sad, frustrated. But I wouldn't have been bitter and angry. But they didn't do that.
No,
but I didn't know that on Friday night.
Friday night was about, I watched every replay. I watched it in Korean. Like I wanted to see it all. And I replayed over and over again to see how Drew Gilbert got wet.
Yes, we have to talk about that.
And so it was just, I just loved that moment. It was the best. And I want to feel that moment over and over again in my life because it was pure joy.
It was an absolute classic. This was a Giants-Dodgers classic. And you knew that going into the ninth. You knew, okay, this game's going to go down. It's going to go down in the annals. It's going to be a Giants-Dodgers classic. And it's either going to be one of those games that Dodger fans hate or Giants fans hate. But we're all going to remember it. And it came down on our side. And it just felt so good. But the first part that made that happen was Justin Verlander. This was a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel, Matthew. Into the seventh inning. These two guys were dealing. And I don't know that I have seen Verlander better. Maybe one or two games. But Verlander right now is the best we've ever seen him in a Giants uniform. And absolutely, at that time, I was thinking, wow, the Giants have a really good 1-2-3 rotation. If they do make it into the playoffs, this is capable of making a run. Especially the way our bullpen is going. God, I was so naive on Friday night. And so it all started with Justin Verlander.
I have no words. I have no words how to explain it, but going 7 innings, only allowing 1 run, it was pretty amazing. And he was this close for 7 shutout innings until Michael Conforto decided to end it. But
yeah,
it's going to happen. And he pitched so great. And the Giants don't win without that. And so hats off to Verlander. I hope that he keeps pitching like this over because we're going to need it again. This week.
No, well, we definitely going to need it again. And I think right now we're getting the best version of this guy that we've gotten all season. And then through the last 3 starts, right now he's the ace of the rotation. right? Right now, Justin Verlander is the best starter on the San Francisco Giants. Now, it's only through one rotation, but it's true. I know that you have the 9th and 10th innings right now, which were classics, but I do want to give a little bit of a shout out to Lucchesi and Ryan Walker, but especially Lucchesi, right? Who got into a little bit of trouble, but like got himself out of it, and it was a classic strikeout to finish the 8th inning, and it was a cleaner inning than the 7th that Verlander had, right? And so, props to Joey Lucchesi. At that time, you and I started coining a new term.
The core more.
The core more.
Maybe that's what jinxed him.
Maybe it was the fact that we referred to them as being anywhere near the core 4. The likes of, who did we decide was in it? It was Buto, Gage, Lucchesi, Walker, and Peguero.
Yeah.
And the reason it's called core more is because there was one more than the core 4, so it's core more. And now that I say it out loud, Matthew, to what will eventually be an audience, I'm realizing that was really stupid, and it is all our fault.
It is. I'm blaming the Cardamom and Banana because I had already had a couple by the time we were texting.
Yeah, I don't really remember when we coined that, but I think I was sober, but I'm just gonna say I wasn't.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. So there you go. But anyway, the 9th inning.
Well, yeah, I mean the 9th inning was. I was hoping that the game was going to end there, and we were so close. And especially after Matos leading off, or I don't know if it was leading off, but he reaches on the Mookie error, and then Ramos strikes out, but then Devers singles. Matos reaches third. Then they replace Matos with Grant McCray, which I think, okay, get all your speed out there.
Yeah. Grant is very, very fast,
and you got Wilmer, professional hitter coming up. All you need is a mediums fly ball to center field, and we walk away a winner.
That's right.
And unfortunately, it was a shallow fly ball to center.
It wasn't so medium, was it?
No, but I do you feel like Williams made the right call in sending him? Because I do. I feel like at that point you're struggling. You at that point you only had like 2 hits all game. You need to force the Dodgers to make a perfect throw, right? I feel like you're going to send him every time in that situation. Every time.
You force them to make the play. There was already an out. It's not like you had another shot at this. There was one out. The next guy would have had to get a hit, or you have to have a wild pitch or something like that. The best chance was sending him. No, I do not doubt them sending him on anything that was relatively close. Game over if he scores. Absolutely think it was the right call.
Right. And, I saw there are other people out there that thought differently. I don't think so. I think you have to force the Dodgers to make the play. And they did, right? So, okay, it's not like the game's over. You're going into extra innings now. And, of course, you got the Manfred runner, and Peguero's out there. And I'm feeling pretty good about this, with Peguero, the way he's been pitching. The very first play was a fly ball by Mookie Betts to Grant McCray out in right field. And Grant McCray throws the hardest outfield assist by a Giants in the StatCast era at 101.7 miles per hour. It's like a 3-bouncer to third base, but the fact that he threw it so hard, it was right on the line, got there. And I think that play was just as important as any other play that we had. It kept that runner from being in scoring position. It was an amazing play. It was fun to see McCray all pumped up and shouting at his dugout. And it was a great baseball play. I loved seeing it.
No, it was huge. It was huge, especially after he got thrown out at home. Right? I mean, that was one of the moments that helped turn this into a classic. Right, the 2 guys getting thrown out on the base paths at key moments late in the game. And he had every reason to be fired up. 101 miles an hour?
Yeah, almost 102.
Now I get that he was doing it from a run, but is he playing the wrong position?
Maybe we could use him in the bullpen.
Maybe. 101? Grant.
Apparently, he does have the strongest arm out of all the Giant outfielders. So there is that. Bottom of the 10th, of course, comes around, and we got the Manfred runner. Koss goes in to run for Wilmer. And then, we get Chapman to ground out to second, so Koss goes to third. The next crucial thing was an assist by the umpire, who ruled that Zheng Hu Li's foul tip into the glove actually hit the dirt when replay showed that it did not.
This was the moment. This was the moment, Matthew.
This is the moment where you knew things were going to turn around, huh?
Correct. Not turn around. This is the moment that I knew the Giants were going to make the playoffs.
Oh, okay. The big moment. Oh,
that was the big moment. The moment that Zheng Hu Li struck out, and I got to tell you, when I saw him swing, and I just said, of course. I said it out loud, and I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care if that upsets anybody. I said it out loud. Of course. But then I was like, wait, what's happening? And they showed the replay, and I looked to the person sitting to my left, which was nobody. But I looked at that person anyway, because I was like, he caught that. He caught that. And it's not reviewable, and I don't think the Dodgers had their review anyway, because I think they'd lost it earlier in the game. So, yeah, that was like the baseball gods smiling down upon the Giants. And I was like, oh, they're going to win. Not just this game, they're making the playoffs. Because of that moment, I knew.
Okay, well, I can't blame you. It was such a pivotal moment, right? And then they walked Schmidt intentionally to load the bases, and then I feel like Bailey knew. He takes a pitch low. I think for it's a 1-0 count. I think he knew a high fastball was coming, because how else do you cover that pitch?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they knew he was going to be amped. They knew that he was going to want to be the hero. That was they had a book on him. But you know who also has a book on himself? Patrick Bailey. But here's the thing. If the Dodgers had a book, why did they walk Schmidt? Why did they walk Schmidt? Don't they know that Patrick Bailey is a different guy when there's ducks on the pond and it's the 7th inning or later? Didn't they know? Didn't their computers tell them, oh, if it's the Giants versus the Dodgers and the playoffs are on the line and it's the bases loaded and it's going to be a walk-off grand slam, then you should just walk him and lose, because otherwise you're going to lose by more? They didn't know that? It was ridiculous to me. And I get it. Patrick Bailey, he can't hit, blah, 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 blah. But all he does is hit in those situations. And that's how I knew it was going to be a grand slam, and that's what you knew.
I knew it. And, watching the replay, that ball was 6 inches above the strike zone. And he got his top hand up there on that ball and just squared it up. The best part, though, was the pose and bat flip.
Oh, the bat flip was so clean.
Oh, so nice. And it was great. It was such a great. I watched it over and over again, different languages. It was amazing. And it was his first right-handed home run in 2 years. Which is, makes it even more kind of just fantastical.
Yes. And we got to get on to the playoffs talk, and we got 2 more games to cover in the Dodgers series, and
we don't have to cover those.
It's we'll cover. We'll give them their due deference, and then we'll move on. But first, I want to talk about something very important.
Okay.
I want to talk about Drew Gilbert. Because you alluded to this earlier, and you, it sounds like, had the same confusion that I did. I was watching the replay, I was watching them come around, and they're all celebrating. And then Drew Gilbert shows up after they finally rip off Patrick Bailey's shirt. And he comes over and he gives a chest bump to Patrick. And I think we saw him briefly before that.
And he's more wet than Patrick.
Well, he's soaking wet. He's dripping wet. And I thought to myself, why is that kid all wet? But then at the same time, my brain said, yeah, of course he's all wet. I had a picture in my mind that he just grabbed a Gatorade bucket when it happened and he just dumped it all over himself. That's what I thought he did. I thought he just went,
I thought the same thing, too. I thought the same thing. I thought he just picked up a Gatorade bottle and just dumped it on himself. But then I watched.
Okay.
He was one of the first ones to home plate.
Right. Of course he was.
So so Patrick Bailey was running right at him when he stepped on the plate. Of course, there's all these people around him, but he's there. And then someone throws a Gatorade bucket at the back head of Bailey's head. Some of it hits Bailey, but the rest hits Drew Gilbert as he's standing there. So he got it right in his face because he was facing the Gatorade came from behind Patrick Bailey, and it got more of Drew Gilbert than it did of Patrick Bailey.
It was Devers and Ramos, and I do know that Ramos sent the second bucket, which was a beautiful yellow ribbon that kind of whipped itself over the whole crowd, and that picture was everywhere on the internet on Friday night and Saturday morning. So that was Ramos's shot. So it was Devers' shot that got Gilbert. But nonetheless, it didn't surprise me that was the guy that was dripping wet when everybody else was bone dry in the celebration. All right.
No, the puppy dog's going to get wet for sure.
Right. Okay. The next two games. Webb sucked. Robbie Ray sucked. They sucked. Okay?
And then our bullpen sucked too. Let's just throw that in there.
Our bullpen sucked and our offense tried to do a little bit, right? A little bit. Things were looking pretty great after the bottom of the second. Matthew, you promised me that Kershaw was going to be old in this game, and I believed you.
And I was right. He gave 4 runs.
Yeah, I don't know that means he's old. He's actually had a really good year, dude. Like, if you look
I know,
at
but his lifetime ERA at Oracle was 1.69. Did you hear that in the broadcast that he's pitched a whole season against the Giants in Oracle? And he has a 1.69 ERA in like 32 starts.
Yeah.
And so he would have won the Cy Young by pitching in Oracle Park against the Giants.
Well, he did win some. So, yeah. So anyway, then they sucked. That's games 2 and 3. All right. Let's move on.
Please.
Despite the very disappointing displays of lack of gumption, lack of moxie by our boys on Saturday and Sunday, when they had their moment presented to them on a platter by the New York Mets and refused to take it, I still believe that the Giants will make the playoffs. And the reason I believe this is because the New York Mets are done. Like, they are done. There is no way that team can possibly turn their ship around with the little time that we have left and play anything close to winning baseball. Right? They have to go to winning baseball in order to be the playoff team. The Mets are done. Now, does that automatically mean that the Giants are going to be the team to make the playoffs because the Mets don't? No, of course it doesn't. But things are looking pretty good because the 3 teams that they're fighting with besides the Mets are the Reds, the D-Bags, and, and not really, but sort of kind of still hanging around, the Cardinals. And the thing is, the Giants play both the D-Bags and the Cardinals one more time. The only team they don't play is the Reds, and the Reds just got jobbed by the Vagabonds in Sacramento. Like, the Giants are I think they're in the driver's seat. Like, I think this is theirs to lose. And yeah, they could turn it around and they could go play like they were playing in July and all that sort of stuff. And I will be really upset and annoyed by that. But do you think that's going to happen, Matthew?
Actually, no. I don't think it's going to happen. I think anyone outside the Dodgers, the Giants are going to play well against. And so, yeah, no, I think I agree with you. I think the Giants still are in a very good position to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I wish I was saying that because the Giants are just unbeatable. There's just no way they're going to lose. They're just going to roll from here on out. I wish that was the reason. But no, the reason is because the Mets are Metsing. Which, unfortunately, does not sound as cool as the Padre-ing.
No.
Like you say, Bob, what are the Mets going to do? The Mets are going to Met. That just doesn't sound as cool as the Padres. What do the Padres do, Bob?
The Padres are Gonna Padre.
Yeah, exactly. But that sounds way cooler than the Mets are going to Met. But we knew one of them was going to do it. And don't worry, the Padres are going to do it at some point. Hopefully against the Giants. That would be nice. That would be nice. Because that would happen during the playoffs. And that's what we're going to talk about. Because that's what I think we need to focus on next.
First of all, though, before we start doing that, I do want to just tell you, I'm just happy to be here. Okay?
What?
I think if you'd gone back at the beginning of the season, you want to play meaningful baseball in September. And there was a time there where I didn't think we were going to be doing this. So I am thrilled that we're actually still talking about the possibility of playoffs. Of course, I want them to make the playoffs. But can you imagine how terrible these last few weeks would have been if they were like 7 games out? Like, I'm having some perspective on this moment of just being very grateful that the Giants are even close, that we're even able to have this conversation.
Okay, I feel like I need to disagree with you because that's what I do. That's our role. That's my role, is to disagree with you. But nah, same, bro. I mean, yes, that's a good point. That's a good point. Like, there's 2 reasons why the Giants are in the situation that they are in right now. The first one we just talked about, the Mets. Like, if the Mets play 500 ball over the last 2 weeks, the Giants aren't anywhere close. Like, this is not even a consideration. But the second reason is because of how well they have played since late August. Right?
Right.
It's really been a story of, I think, 3 seasons this season. You know, because even though they're winning again, they're just winning in a different way. Right? It's the long ball. And I think, and the bullpen has been good too, but I think it's more surprising this time because it's a bunch of like guys who you're just like, this guy shouldn't be this good. You know? So I agree. I agree with you. I would say that we are lucky to be where we are. But boy, if they don't make the playoffs right now and the Mets are just like, have just grabbed both ankles, you know, then I'm going to be annoyed. You know?
No, agreed. I mean, if the Mets finish the season 500 and we can't make the playoffs.
Yeah, do not go back to choking, because then that'll be the story of this team, right? Every time somebody said you should win, you started losing. Don't be that team, because you already did that once. You got Devers and you choked. If you choke now, that's your legacy. You are chokers. As soon as games get on the line, as soon as you start to be good, you start to suck. Right? So don't be that team.
Okay, so let's say they're not that team. Let's say they're not that team then.
Okay, they're not that team because they're going to the playoffs. So my question for you, Matthew, is, are they good enough to win in the playoffs? I say no.
See, this is where I'm supposed to disagree with you. And I'm supposed to say yes.
Yeah, but we just saw the 3 games that we saw. Okay.
See, yes, and if you'd asked me after Friday night, I would have been like, heck yeah.
Hey, we're gonna never lose in the playoffs.
But here's the thing. Logan Webb and Robbie Ray are our only chance.
Justin Verlander.
Logan Webb and Robbie Ray are our only chance.
Okay.
And if they pitch like that against the Dodgers, who, if the season ended today and the Giants were in the 3rd wild card spot, we'd be playing the Dodgers just like 2021 all over again.
And it's not going 5 games.
No.
Yeah, no, Landon Roop is not going to maybe get a start. No, it's not happening. Yeah, no, they absolutely dominated us. We were their little boys. And by we, I mean Robbie Ray and Logan Webb. I didn't have anything to do with it. Yeah, no, they absolutely dominated us. And this was a team that was only performing well in one facet of the game, starting pitching. And they came into Oracle and they absolutely handed it to us. Logan Webb and Robbie Ray did not show up. They did not.
Now, of course, if we get vintage Ray and Webb, then absolutely we have a chance. As you get 3 starting pitchers and Verlander's pitching well, you can do a lot of damage in the playoffs. But you know, this is the first time you could call this like a high stakes playoff series that we just witnessed. and the Giants laid an egg. And so it makes it hard to say, yeah, they can make a deep run. Although I want to believe it, Ben. I know
you want to, but I think that the problems with this team that I saw 2 weeks ago was starting pitching in the bullpen. And then, our offense is so powerful, but okay. The Dodgers just showed you what good starting pitching can do against a great offense. Because
come on, boys. Let's hear a little optimism.
I don't got it, Bob. It's hard to be optimistic after Saturday and Sunday.
I think Patrick Bailey and Drew Gilbert will get some hits in the series, Bob. It's going to be one of those. That's what you're going to see. Everybody else is going to suck. Drew Gilbert and Patrick Bailey are the only guys on base. The Giants go down 0-3. If this is the way that they play, right? If this is the Robbie Ray and the Logan Webb that we get, I'll tell you what, if they do make the playoffs, Joey Lucchesi, Matt Gage, Buto, this is your moment, guys. This is it. This is your legacy. You're gonna be that guy? Don't be that guy. I think we're gonna need Robbie Ray and Logan Webb to step up and be the guys that we know they can be in the moment when it calls for it. And we need Lucchesi and Gage and Buteau and Ryan Walker to put all of the failures behind them and just absolutely just pitch out of their minds. Peguero, I believe in. Peguero is already...
He's real deal.
Yeah. I believe in next year's closer. I believe in our 2026 closer completely. All right, Matthew. Well, we got to wait until October to see how that goes. And boys, it should go without saying that when the Mets do hand this out to whomever they're going to hand it out to, it better be you. Because otherwise, you're two-time chokers. And I will not tolerate that. And the resurgence starts on Monday against the D-bags. Let's end their season. Let's just sweep them. Just sweep them. By the time the series is over, we'll be completely in front of the control of the wild card because the Mets will have, will just continue to lose. We will eliminate any chance that the D-bags think that they have of making the playoffs, and it will be down to a 2-team race. Does that sound good, Matthew?
Okay. That sounds great. Pitching is a little suspect. We got Kai Tang against Zach Gallen on game 1.
So KWT is going to go 1 inning before Bob and JP are...
See, the problem is that he can't do that because game 2 is TBD, which probably means a Carson Seymour... Keaton Wynn, stack them on top of each other kind of game. So game 2 is going to be interesting. Who is that? And Rodriguez, Eduardo Rodriguez, who is pitching game 2, gave up 2 hits, 0 runs, and 6 1/3 innings against us last week. So, it's going to be tough. And then Verlander against Fat.
Oh, that's a win, baby.
Fat.
That's a win. If they don't win... I get it. Verlander, he's been getting Verlandered again, but at least, just because he gets Verlander doesn't mean the Giants don't win. So, Fat has not had a good year.
Was that how you say his name?
Yeah. Sorry. Fat. It has not had a good year. Kai Tang versus Gallen. Gallen's been awful, even against the Giants.
Yeah. Well, we got a shot. Well, I guess we'll see.
No, but here's the thing. I don't care who's pitching tomorrow. Win today, Bob. Win today.
Exactly. Win each day.
Worry about tomorrow.
Exactly. You can always throw out Christian Cross.
He's good for 3 innings.
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Oh, I'm so ahead of you, Bob.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Bob, today I'm drinking a cocktail that I'm calling Bitter Blue blood. I said at the top of the show that I made this from the blood of a Smurf because I couldn't get any Dodger blood because the Giants didn't draw any. And while that second part is true, I did not do that by getting a Smurf. I didn't get Brainy. I didn't get Papa. Those are the only two I remember. Wow.
Grouchy.
Grouchy? Was there a Grouchy?
There was a Grouchy Smurf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say Smurfette, but she wasn't real. She was made by Gargamel. That I do remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what did I use? I used Empress Gin, Bob. So that's what you start with. You start with 1 ounce of Empress Gin. To that, you add 1 ounce of Benedictine DOM. Benedictine DOM. You're going to put that into a rocks glass with no ice. You're going to stir that to combine. You are going to then add your ice, and you're going to top that off with tonic water. Because that's all you deserve. And then you're going to add a nice fresh slice of lime as your garnish, and you're going to drink that, and you are going to enjoy it, or at least pretend that you do. And that's how you make a bitter blue blood. And that's what I'm drinking today, Bob.
I'm not gonna lie. That cocktail sucked.
Yeah, you say that because it's named after the Dodgers colors. And you're not wrong.
Dodgers suck.
They do. They do suck. And unfortunately, this past weekend, Robbie Ray and Logan Webb sucked more. And so that's what I'm drinking. That's the way it be. And honestly, it's not a horrible cocktail. But you got to like tonic, and you got to like... You got to be one of those people who says, "Oh, I like dry cocktails." And you're in the minority, by the way. You're in the major minority. Most human beings do not like dry cocktails.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking actually a really delightful cocktail called Cardamom and Banana. It's got 3/4 ounces of rye whiskey, 3/4 ounces of cognac or brandy, if that's what you have, 1/4 ounce of banana liqueur. I'm using Jaffard's du Brazil or whatever it's called.
Banana.
Banana du Brazil. And then a 1/4 ounce of cardamom syrup, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, and 1 dash of Cardamom Bitters. You're going to mix all those ingredients in a mixing glass with ice until well chilled. Strain it into a large rocks glass with a rock on it of ice. And you're going to twist a lemon peel over the drink and rub it around the rim of the glass and drop it in as garnish. And you get this very nice, balanced, boozy cocktail that is perfect for the fall as it starts to get a little cold. So that's what I'm drinking, Bob. Cardamom and Banana.
That's a tasty cocktail.
Yep, it really, really is. And before we wrap this up, Ben, we had another review.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's my fault.
It's your fault?
Well, I just assumed it was bad. Is it a bad review?
It's actually a 5-star review.
Oh, yes! Wow! Thank you, Bob.
Who's on First?
Ooh, nice. Abbott and Costello reference. Nice. Got it.
Yeah, well, it's Jung Hoo, H-O-O. Who's on First?
Oh, I see. Oh, see. You come out fighting. All right, you're throwing punches. All right, I like it. It's fine.
All right, and it's titled Splash Hit.
Wow, nice. Clever.
And so the review says, has quickly become one of my favorite podcasts of any genre.
Obvi.
And I don't even drink. Says the one-act melodrama after the trade deadline was an especially poignant tearjerker and a lesson for all on how to break bad news to someone pretending not to know it already.
Camilo?
Camilo! Motion to refer to home losing streak, blown save, purple-faced rant Ben as City Connect Ben.
I second. Let's vote.
Cheers.
Die. Bob.
Yes.
The ayes have it.
So thank you, Who's on First. That was a great review. City Connect Ben, we had a full force today. Hopefully we will all feel a little bit better after the Diamondback series, because that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back on Thursday with more Giants content. And if you can't wait that long, feel free to reach out to us on the socials and all the places. Don't forget, you can also listen to us on YouTube, where you can comment, subscribe, and follow there. And just like Who's on First, you can also leave us a 5-star review on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So, Ben, it was great talking Giants with you, even if you were City Connect Ben today. Until next time, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, Matthew. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. Until next time, bottoms up.
I mean, it's not my fault.
It's not your fault that you're City Connect Ben?
It's a little bit my fault.
A little bit.
I mean, there's also it's also a little bit it's my genes. There's also a little bit of nature on there, so it's my mother's fault. But mainly it's Logan Webb's fault.
Or Robbie Ray. One of the two. One of the two.
Both of them. And who came in, was it Buteau?
It was Buteau and then Gage. I mean, like, both of them gave it 3 runs.
See?
Like, it's just the Giants started to claw back into it, and then, boom, the reliever would give up 3 runs. Then they tried to claw back into it, then, boom, the reliever would give up more runs. It just was never...
It's not my fault at all! It's Buster Posey's fault! Tyler and Camilo wouldn't have done that.
That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah. Okay. Do you follow the Emmys, Matthew? Did you see that Severance is just rolling?
I don't follow the Emmys.
Trammell, Alan. What is the guy's name? The guy from Severance. You know, he did the whole marching band thing. He just came out. When I saw him do the marching band thing, when I saw him come out and he was the drum major and he came out and he did a dance like that, I was like, oh, this man's winning the Emmy. And I was right. He did.
All right.
So yeah, watch Severance. It's pretty cool, and it's good. It's good. It's on Apple. It's on Apple Plus. Yeah. You should watch it.
After I'm done watching Ted Lasso from like 6 years ago, I will.
Wait, are you actively moving through it or no?
I am in episode 8 of season 2.
Oh, okay, then yeah, do that. Also, I know it's been a long time since you watched any Star Wars, but Andor is worth it, and you don't have to watch any of the other stuff. Just watch Andor, even if you've never watched a single thing of Star Wars. Watch Andor. Both seasons. Okay. Very good. Lots of people do die in that, but in the Star Wars way. So it's no blood or anything like that. It's fine.
They get shot with a laser and disappear.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they don't disappear. That was only one guy one time, dude. Okay, one guy one time, and that was with a laser sword.
Okay.
Yeah. The night is free. Long may be the night.